Welcome to the WHHI News. I'm McNair. Here's a look at your headlines. The Murdoch home, known as Moselle when the family owned it, and 21 acres around it have been sold by the neighbors who bought the larger 1,700-acre property around it last year. The sale price and the new owners have not been disclosed. Neighbors Jeff Godley and James Eyre bought the land and the 5,300-square-foot, four-bedroom, four-and-a-half-bath home for $2.6 million a year ago, intent on keeping the larger 1,700-acre property around the home for hunting, farming, and timber, but selling off the house and adjacent property. Becky Hill, the former Colleton County court clerk who served during the Alec Murdaugh murder trial and went on to write a book about it, has now been accused of 76 ethics violations by the State Ethics Commission and faces a hearing on those charges in December. Among the alleged violations of her position were providing a photo from a holding cell, promoting the sale of that book, and filming a separate promotional segment for it in her courthouse office. Now, most of the charges involve use of her official position for financial gain. She resigned back in March. Well, Hilton Head beachgoers are noticing a new electronic parking system at lots around the island's beaches, though the rates to park are still between free and $1 an hour and will remain that way at least through Labor Day. It's just the technology that's changing for now. Beach pass holders can still park for free at meters in the beach parking lots. Well, parents and Beaufort County school students have one more job to do before school lets out, helping the district figure out next fall's cell phone policy. A link on the district's website will get you to a survey for all stakeholders, including area residents, to weigh in on possible new policies through next Wednesday before adopting a new cell phone policy for the fall, though the state legislature may hand down its own orders when it meets next week. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office is investigating an armed robbery that took place on the south end of Hilton Head Island shortly after 1:30 in the morning on Saturday. The victim was at his car in a parking lot when two males in hoodies and masks demanded that he give them everything on him as well as in his vehicle. The suspects took off when a security light came on. Anyone with information is asked to call Investigator White at the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office. And the huge new Beaufort Station Shopping Center has announced the grand opening for its first tenants, TJ Maxx and Home Goods, this week, the first of 9 major tenants to open in the enormous center at the intersection of Highway 170 and the Paris Island Gateway. Besides the 9 national chains in the center, there'll be an Aldi, a Parker's, and other local restaurants in the new center that will be opening soon. If you'd like more information on these stories and more, please be sure to visit the news sources on your screen or check us out on Facebook, X, and Instagram. And if you have a story idea, feel free to email us at news@WHHI-TV.com. With sports, here's Justin Jarrett.
Hey, it's time for Last Night in the Lowco on WHHI, powered by LowcoSports.com. It's been relatively quiet on the LowcoSports front, but everything's starting to come up diamonds, and a pair of aces from the Lowco combined for the win in the South team's 6-5 win over the North in the Class 3A-4A All-Star softball game. May River's Anna Caraballo went 4 innings with 4 strikeouts and left the game tied at 3, giving way to Beaufort High's Kylie Rast, who pitched 5 innings, and Irmo's Precious Boss walked it off with an RBI double. Battery Creek's Haley Maroney and Brooke Crosby, Bluffton's Reagan Kelly, and Colleton County's Bailey Cox are also part of the South All-Stars, who will face the winner of the 1A, 2A, 5A game today. The news from the Diamond will pick up next week as the Beaufort Ospreys are set to bring American Legion baseball back to Beaufort County for the first time since 2014. The Ospreys will play their home games at Battery Creek High School, with their home opener slated for 7 p.m. Wednesday after starting the season at St. George on Monday. And it's almost all-star season for the boys and girls of summer, with district tournaments beginning next week, with the 6 and under Coach Pitch All-Stars bringing their adorable brand of baseball to Oscar Fraser Park. Even though things have slowed down, we're still talking local sports over on the Lowco Media Network on YouTube, where you can find new episodes of the LowcoSports Lowdown, the Lowco Grind, and Under the Bus, plus much more. Check out last night's Lowdown for our interview with Port Royal's own Ryle Owens, who just completed his 3rd season playing professional basketball overseas. For LowcoSports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Lowco.
Great, Justin. And with our weather filling in for Maria Soden, here's Jessa Jeremiah.
Thanks so much. Yes, let's take a look at our weather forecast. Great news because there's a lot of good weather ahead, starting with Friday as we've got some intervals of clouds keeping us a little bit cool through the sun. In Hilton had a low of 68 and a high of 83. Bluffton, same weather, low of 68, high of 83. And as we move into Beaufort, just a little bit cooler, a low of 64 and a high of 83. We're going to take a look at sunrise and sunset. Sun rising at 6:17 a.m. and setting at 8:24 p.m. Let's take a look at those tides. 11:37 a.m. is going to be our low tide for Friday with a high tide coming in at 4:40 p.m. As we roll into the weekend, Saturday looks to be our sunniest day. So we're at a high of 80s to 83, low just in the 70s. On Sunday, we've got very similar weather, maybe a bit more clouds, low of 70 to 72 and a high of 83 to 85. As we get into Monday, though, get ready for the humidity. It's rolling in with our sun high in the clouds, a low of 70 to 73 and a high of 84 to 87. That's our weather forecast, and we're going to get back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Jessa. Coming up next, we'll find out about efforts to establish an anti-gang law here in South Carolina with 14th Circuit solicitor Duffy Stone. Don't go away.